This is TWiT.
Hey, buddy, are you a geek? Are you a tech enthusiast? Then I would love to invite you to join a tech community like no other. You can gain exclusive access to our incomparable quality tech content with Club TWiT. As a member, you'll enjoy all TWiT TV shows ad-free. Plus, access private video feeds for insider shows like iOS Today, Home Theater Geeks, and so much more. Dive into the members-only TWiT Plus bonus feed for behind-the-scenes content, club discussions, and special events. But here's the best perk. Join our incredible Discord community to watch live show productions, chat with hosts, and participate in exclusive members-only activities. It's your backstage pass to the world of TWiT. Whether you're a tech enthusiast or a lifelong learner, Club TWiT elevates your knowledge while entertaining your interests. Get 2 weeks free when you sign up now and unlock unparalleled access at twit.tv/clubtwit. That's twit.tv/clubtwit. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you and welcome to the club.
Good evening, Crafteronians. I fear that is not something I'm able to adjust, Dustin. I don't know how. I don't think I have the permission to do that. So I will have to leave that be. As always, I welcome you to let me know if the music is too loud or is distracting, but welcome to my crafting corner. This is our cozy session where we all just kind of hang out, work on crafts, have an opportunity to just chill and talk about what's been going on. Hello, Jim from Akron, Ohio, and good evening. So, as you'll all recall, oh yes, I've done it again. I said I was going to fix this. You know what? Let's start by fixing this, because originally we had this camera set properly, and I want to make that possible again. So, let's see. It looked fine when I didn't have the Lego there. All right, let's see. I know there's a way to just say, hey, you, turn it around. Nope, that's horizontal flip, not vertical flip. Rotate. There we go. All right. So as you'll recall, and we'll do this again, we are working on the LEGO Botanical collection. This is tiny plants. As we know, this is the this is the set of succulents that we talked about working on. And yeah, I could rotate the box, Burke, but then I also think about how I was working upside down, and that's not what I was going for. So we will just rotate like so. All right, so I'm curious to hear what's going on in Dustin's craft world. Dustin usually has something going on, or Dustin's wife. And so I'm looking forward to hearing about that. But let's go ahead and get started with our tiny plants. I'm going to grab the other two that we already completed here. We've got a jade plant and a false clover, I think. Oh my goodness. Dustin, do I have your consent to share that on the stream? The second photo. That is very cute. While we wait for that to come through, thank you all again for being here. And let's take a look at what we've got going. All right, let me show you really quickly what Dustin's wife is working on in the chat. Well, slow loading. Oh, wow, the image is rather large here. Oops, there we go. It's a baby kimono and it's so cute. Very cute. All right. So I think we are going to work on oh yeah, that's right. We only got through 2 last time. So we need to build the third one in this box. The third one in the box is rather large for the mini plants. And it requires bag 2. So we'll take 5, 4, 3, and 6. Cast those aside for now. And let's see what we're working with. Any delicious things being cooked at the moment or baked at the moment? I remember last time we had some blueberry scones, vegan blueberry scones. Yes, Anthony, I forgot to do that. Thank you. Forgot to hit that button. Adam is very serious about Burke drinking coffee. Burke, you taking a caffeine break? Or did you just forget your daily coffee? It's like, oh no, now I've got to have it this late at night or else I'll have a caffeine headache. I get caffeine headaches. Okay, so last time we were doing a little fun thing where we were giving names to all, I don't know if it was fun for you all, but it was fun for me. Giving names to all of the pieces. So I need to find the Oreo and I need to find the green starburst. Place those together. Oh, I forgot. We've got to read about what this is. Yes, Donnie, this is Lego for Crafting Corner. Odd, it's not. Lace leaves are susceptible to pests like aphids and spider mites, so having a hungry ladybug in the pot is a good way to keep your plant healthy. I thought I remembered the rest of it being... I thought there was sort of a little introduction to each of them, but maybe I'm misremembering that. Anyway, we're making laceleaf, a flowering plant native to Colombia and Ecuador. Beautiful red color. All right. So we're going to take... It's becoming a habit. I do not like opening up this small bag of small pieces. It freaks me out. I'm going to have to start having a little bowl or something to put all of them in. Ooh, fresh ground coffee. That sounds lovely. All right, so now we've got our Oreo with the green starburst. We're going to take 4 of the little claws and place them all around, like so. Lovely. Perfectly splendid even. And then we will take another green starburst and lock that on top. And then we take a bagel and we put that on top of the green starburst. Oh man, I know the LEGO purists out there are probably very upset with me. Whiskey and Minecraft Vault Hunters. Yeah. So, Timothy, you talked about how it was sort of an add-on, right, to Minecraft to make it into Vault Hunters. Is this a multiplayer experience, or is it a single-player experience? How does that work in terms of actual Vault Hunters part of it? Oh, I'm going to do... There we go. Thank you, Anthony. I just noticed you were... I was like, whose voice is that? All right. It's multiplayer on a server, but I'm the only one on the server right now. Is there any part of it that you can play on your own? Or does it require other people to actually play? Nice. You can play single player for those listening or going, what is he saying? Nice too. All right. Now we need to find the spider web and then attach another bagel to the spider web. I feel like I need to lower the exposure on this secondary camera because I am not that color. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, that's correct. And then that, and then a bagel on top of it. Like so. And then we need to take... What do we call this, friends? It is a gray 2x4 rectangle with holes. What does this look like? I don't know. Maybe somebody will have an idea. But we're going to place this on top of the bagel. A Swiss 2x4. Oh, wow, Joe. that an Android? And then we take the red piece, Android sad cowboy, yeah. And then we're going to take the red piece, and that's going to go in the middle. I hope it's supposed to click pretty far down in there. Yeah. And then we're going to take a chocolate chip cookie and stick that on top. Like so. Yes, that is quite the album cover. Ooh, this gets interesting real quick. So now we're taking, it's almost like those little, it's like when you would get a lunchbox. That's for school. You'd have a lunchbox and have different things in it. And one of them was like the cheese with the breadsticks. That's what these orange things kind of remind me of. Those little breadsticks that you dip in the cheese, quote unquote cheese. So we need 8 of these little green binoculars. Oh, wow. The sad android cowboy is going to be riding on an android horse. That's cool. And then I need to find those breadstick pieces. Allegedly, there are 4 of them. They were playing hide and seek. Wunderhorse. And then the 4 little white robo arms. Now we take the binoculars and stack them. And then we attach those to the breadsticks. When you're here, you're family. Speaking of composers, I just love the harpsichord. And I think it doesn't get the respect it deserves. Handel and his harpsichord. And then you take the little white robo arm and stick it into the bottom of the green binocular. Like so. And then, oh, has everybody filed their taxes? If you live in the US, did any of you decide to go for the extension? Basically, the way that I do my taxes every year is I procrastinate, and then I go in and say, okay, now I'm just going to file for the extension. And then as I'm filing for the extension, I stop filing the extension and just do my taxes. And I've done that now 2 years running. 2 years. And then I started to do that again this year, and then I did my taxes again. Oh, I'm sorry, Anthony. I just have a stupid amount coming out of my paycheck so that I don't have to pay. But it always, of course, depends on all the other stuff that's going on, I'm sure. I don't know if you have like weird estate tax type stuff. But yeah, after working freelance for a long time and messing up my taxes 2 years in a row and having to work with the IRS to get it all sorted, I am incredibly just terrified to do anything wrong. So I'm just like, just take my money. Just take it all up front and we'll sort it out at the end of the year. And that's worked for me so far. Although I will tell you, Oregon, they'll come up with all sorts of interesting taxes. That's been something. Well, it's not just Oregon. I should say it's a little bit Oregon, but definitely Portland and Multnomah County, of which Portland is a part. They all have their own little, you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to do this kind of a thing. But that makes sense because of the no sales tax. My husband and I had to pay $12K to $14K due to his work not withdraw. See, and that's the other thing. When work doesn't properly calculate it, that's not been my experience, to be clear. But that has happened to some friends of mine. Wow, speak of the devil, I just got the notification saying that my California state return was accepted. That's the other thing, is that I lived for part of the year in California, part of the year now in Oregon. And that was a complicated, I did not have as much trouble when I moved from Missouri to California on properly doing it. But for some reason, this move required a lot of math on my part that I thought the tax program was going to take care of. I don't know. My goal in life is to make enough money to just hire an accountant. So someday, in theory. I was talking with some folks yesterday about our unending yearning to just have taxes like the UK, where they send you mail that says, hey, here's what we think you owe, or what we owe you, or whatever, to look good. And then you just are like, yeah, looks good. And then you move on. Because, man, it's so complicated, which I know is all part of the plan. This is the weirdest Lego piece I have ever seen. It's got these weird, it's got these weird kind of cutouts, and it's strangely contoured. Look at that thing. It's like a conveyor belt or like an iron. I don't know what this is. Yeah, enough to notice. Oh, yeah, Timothy, that was also annoying. Because you're basically giving the government a no-interest loan. But yeah, I prefer that to the other way, where suddenly I'm hit with, oh, you need to do this. I do still live in constant fear these days that, because I use USPS informed delivery, which I know many of you in who are watching this, I'm sure you do. And so every day I get an email, and the email has all of the mail that I'm expected to receive for the day as it's scanned through the USPS system. And when I had that issue, seeing, the IRS logo in the mail was like, oh, so now I just like, every year around, like September, October-ish, I kind of like, as I open up that, because I'm like, oh, what will I have done wrong? What are they going to get me for? It's not fun. So I wish, again, it was like the UK where it's just on them to get it right. Or in Canada. That's good to know. Dustin, do you file yourself? Or does it work the same way where the government says this is what we think it is, and you just say yes or no, I dispute that? This is kind of interesting. We're going to take the little side portion and use the gray hook to attach. I think the whole point of this is to create an interesting sort of contour shape for the pot, which I love. It's kind of over-engineered, which is delightful. If you're employed, almost the entire thing is in the system and auto-filled, and you just need to add your deductions and whatnot. Nice. I know taxes are not the most chill thing to be talking about, but it's going on right now, and it was on my mind. So we're basically repeating the same steps over and over again here to create all four sides of the pot. Oh, Magic Packet Jason, you're also in Canada. I love our Canadian listeners. I love all of our listeners, but I love our Canadian listeners. I think this might be the year we visit Canada, which I realize is not... There are many... Canada's a big place. I think we'll be going to Alberta. Which again, big. Now check that out. That is cool. Look at that. I feel like that gal that... Have you ever seen the video of the gal that does paint sponges? Would you look at that? Look at that. If you haven't, it's a very delightful experience. Paint sponge lady. Rainbow sponge. Oh no, I gotta find it from somebody else, because from that person it is not a very nice name. Her name is Dee Gruning of Posh Impressions. Wait, I gotta watch this a little bit before I send it, because I want to make sure that is Dee. Hello, Dee. Okay, this isn't some weird YouTube nonsense. We have friends in Alberta, and I think they're going to take us somewhere nearby. They go all over the place, nature-y things. So I think they're going to be taking us to do that. You all have my full permission and endorsement to spend some time watching a little bit of that video. She's amazing. She very much loves her rainbow sponges, I'll tell you that. If I even had half as much excitement as she does about a thing I made, I would rule the world. Colorado is one of my favorite places. Assuming you're talking about the mountains and not a sports team. Oh, dinosaurs. Now, I wonder why they need that middle piece to be smooth, because if it was a 4, I should have still been able to. Thank you, Andrew PLA Tech says this is chill AF. I won't translate that, and I'm jealous of the hat. It is a good hat. It's a really good hat too, because it's got like a nice mesh interior, so it's really breathable, which I quite enjoy. Now, when I see PLA Tech, I think 3D printing. Should I be thinking 3D printing, Andrew? Speaking of 3D printing, can anyone guess what this is? Just from... Oh, I think I'm showing too much of it. I meant to show this side. No, the brand. Never mind. Can anyone guess what this is? For people who are just listening, I don't even know how to describe this, honestly. It's a big plastic rolly container. Patrick is guessing a bagel maker or an air fryer, but I know he's kidding. Oh, it is a Daft Punk helmet. It is sadly not any of those things. It's kind of boring what it actually is. It's a filament dryer. So for people who do 3D printing, to have better success when it comes to printing, particularly in incredibly moist environments like Portland, Oregon, one needs to make sure that the filaments that they are using are dry. The drier they are, the better the layers adhere, and the better your print is supposed to be. And so this is a filament dryer, and you stick the reels in. It's a 2x2, and it just goes through and it warms. And it's not a hamster agitator, no, sadly. And then it also has silica gel packets. The thing is, a great shame of mine is that I have yet to open my 3D printer that I invested in. It's still in the box because it's one of those things where I want to give it the attention it deserves and really do it justice and set it up. And so it's still in the box. But I did pull this out of the box for some reason. I don't understand me. But I've even made some 3D models. I've used tools to make 3D models. I think I'm worried that I'm going to be disappointed. And then the money that I spent on a Black Friday deal, mind you, is going to be not worth it. So I think that's why it's still in the box. I have a problem. I don't know what it is. I'm going to put this back and we're going to get back to the Lego. Oh, maybe we should. Yeah. Dustin says, "Will we get some crafting corner for 3D printer setting up? Setty uppy?" Maybe that's how I convince myself to do it. Because honestly, that's what got me into miniature making. Well, and I'm about to start an in-person D&D campaign for some friends. And I think that is what's going to ultimately spark it. Patrick printed off some 3D minis for players of the campaign that we have going. And I think I want to do that for my players. So this is one of the minis that I painted. This is obviously a larger size. I showed this last time, but for anyone who's tuning in for the first time. Ooh, let's see what Patrick is working on. Patrick says, "My current craft project, it's a wooden box that I assembled with wood glue from flat laser cut pieces known as a T-track module. I build a little diorama that connects to other people's at train shows. I've painted the top and sides, will attach track next, and then scenery." Okay, so tell me more about this, Patrick. Connects to other people's at train shows. So you're using a standard module. I get that part. Why, like, people are okay with you? And I'm saying this with complete curiosity, not like judgment or anything like that. People welcome you connecting your stuff to their stuff. And is it like, how do you decide who you connect your diorama to? Tell me everything. Oh, so if you're in a club, you all connect your modules together so everybody can build a portion and then you all come together. That's really neat. Now, I see you said from flat laser cut pieces. Do you have a laser cutter as well, Patrick, or did you order those? Nice. Did you see, I think, is it Anchor that has the like multi, not the newest Anchor thing, which does sort of 3D texture printing, the UV printer, but there was a company, it was Cricut. I think it was it Cricut? I can't remember now, but they've made a multi-purpose, let me see who it was. Somebody made like it does all the things printer. I'm looking back through The Verge because I think that's where I read about it. No, there's Anchor's UV printer. That's not the one. Honestly, it might be the company that made my 3D printer. Yes, okay, it is. Bamboo Lab has a new H2D, and it is a 3D printer, laser engraver and cutter, and then also a digital cutter plotter. So it can do what Cricut does. It can laser engrave and cut, and it can 3D print. I don't know. That seems like a lot. I have a Cricut that I've used quite a bit. but I'm skeptical. Oh, also, of course, because I can do the cutting, I can also do pen drawing. I'm skeptical of something that claims to be able to do so much all at once, right? Like, that seems like a lot. All right, let's get back to the crafting, though. Here's something interesting that I'm curious to ask. I don't personally believe in the popular definition of ghosts, but some people do, and I 100% respect that. If you feel you've seen a ghost, then I believe you've seen a ghost. And I was curious, anybody listening want to tell me where you fall on that spectrum of ghost belief? The reason I ask is because my fiance right now is visiting his favorite city with a friend, and they are staying in what he told me is one of the most haunted hotels in America. And they're staying on the floor that is reported to have had the most hauntings. And I, as a person who doesn't believe it, am like, okay, that's good. I mean, that's fun for you. You know, if that's something that you will want to try to experience or feel. But yeah, I just was kind of curious because I think for him, it's a little bit scary, but also exciting. And there's a part of me that kind of wishes I could tap into that aspect of it, you know, just to like, because you have the Alcatraz at night, right? And we never did that because I think part of what was supposed to make that fun is a fear that you might hear something spooky. But if you are relatively, I don't know, disbelieving, or I don't even want to call it disbelief. Whatever I am about it, then I don't think it's as fun. Yeah, skeptical. Skeptical is probably the word, yeah. A lot of people in the chat are kind of saying, I've never had an experience like that, but I don't disbelieve it. And I think this is the thing though. For me, I have had weird experiences growing up, but I grew up super religious as well. And so there was a lot of like fear of dark spirits and that kind of a thing. And so for me, I can explain all of the situations that I experienced as just psychological panic, essentially. Your brain can invent anything, and your brain working in concert with your eyes can help to create things that aren't there, shapes in the dark sort of situation. And so even though I've had experiences that I've told to people who do believe in that kind of a thing and they're like freaked out, it doesn't scare me because I can explain it all scientifically. And I hate to even use the word scientifically because, you know, science that we have today was magic before we figured out it was science. And so I guess scientifically in our current understanding of the situation and psychologically in our current understanding of the situation, it's like, yeah, I can figure out why little me thought that they were seeing something scary in the bedroom while they were trying to go to sleep. So yeah, I've even had those experiences and am not a believer. But I like, Dustin, what you said. Guess my thoughts are, I guess it's possible, but I've never had that experience and kind of doubt I ever will. I doubt that I will have that experience as an adult. But this is where a person who does believe this sort of thing would argue that it is because you don't, you're not open to it, that it's closed off to you, right? So, working in mental health for 15 years, I guess there's a whole heck of a lot we don't know about the world or even our own minds. Amen. Bookend Kitties, welcome. Lego's going well. You're never late when it's just a chill sesh. We're all just hanging out, having a good time, talking about our beliefs or lack thereof in the supernatural. So if you care to share, oh dear, I don't think I could say that out loud, Bookend Kitties, but it gave me a chuckle, which tells what my sense of humor is at times. So now I need to take these little friends and combine them. I know too, sometimes people feel worried about admitting that, because I think especially in nerd circles where we do take intelligence so seriously and have ourselves, okay, it's very complicated, right? Because you have a situation where for many of us, we grew up feeling like we didn't belong to what was sort of the mainstream. And it led to bullying and things like that. And so when you find your group, you find your tribe, and you fit in, you protect that with your whole being. And the trauma that can kind of exist in that space leads you to seek out things that are different and other from other people and push them away, right? And so I know for people who identify with that nerd culture or that geek culture, it's a different word for different generations. Maybe that's something that you have to like feel people out before you say, I kind of believe in ghosts. Or you say, I really believe in aliens, or whatever it happens to be, because you don't want to get teased about something that for some people is a matter of, oh, you're just not intelligent enough to realize that it's this, that, or the other. So that's why I wanted to be very careful about how I was saying that, because although I don't believe, I don't think that it makes someone stupid because they do. I think that what someone sees and experiences is what they see and experience. So I think it's kind of cool if you can. And that's what I was kind of talking about too, is like, there's a part of me that's a little sad I can't tap into that, right? I can't have that little bit of excitement and fear about a situation because I'm just like, I don't really think anything's happening here. Okay, here we go. Somebody says, the brain and smells. When I was young and my great-grandmother passed, I remember being in her house and smelling her perfume. It was so overwhelming to me as a young kid that I believed her ghost was there. Now being 55, I'm sure it was my brain connecting, but I still remember it after 45 years. Yeah, and lots of people have those experiences, right? Of that, because of how much sense is tied to our memory, and it can pull us into something. But also just in general, I think sometimes our brains are doing us a kindness in those situations of loss where we're given the ability to remember a person and perhaps feel their presence because it gives us peace. And we know it's scientifically, I know you can't say scientifically proven, but it's scientifically believed that our brains struggle to differentiate between real and imagined. There was the study about the, I can't remember what sport, but a sports ball player, professional sports ball players, and they had monitors hooked up to their brain, and they were told to sit in a chair and think about playing the sport, think about, getting to the goal or whatever it happens to be. And then afterward, they actually did the action. And when they look at the electroencephalograph, it showed that the same areas of the brain lit up in both of those cases. So whether you're imagining it or you're actually experiencing it, the brain struggles between the two. So yeah, that's where I do think that the brain can make a lot happen. But again, who knows? Maybe there's more to it, because there's still a lot of science we don't have, knowledge about. Bookend Kitty says, I think there's a book that has that as a premise. Haven't read it, but vaguely remember it. It's just inducing it through fasting and environmental stresses. Does that make it any less valid of a spiritual experience? Exactly. If the impact is there, then what does it matter? Oh, I'm really sorry about that, Adam. Okay, one more piece. Very, very, very well put, Bookend Kitties. It's no less valid a spiritual experience if you feel the way you feel, because what are we but input-output organisms? All right. I had no idea we were going to get into philosophy and psychology this evening on Crafting Corner. But it happens. And that's why I appreciate you all. I am kind of nervous that I'm going to get a 3 a.m. call from my fiance going, help. There's a ghost in here. But that's why I'm glad he's with his friend, so that he and she can keep each other safe. Oops. Yeah, Bookend Kitties. When you're having an internal dialogue, they've looked at the way that speaking out loud and having that internal dialogue activate the same stuff, save for the part that activates some of the muscles in your throat. But from what I understand, there are still signals being sent to the larynx, and you were just not taking it past the larynx to the rest of your mouth to vocalize them. And so when people are having that internal voice in their head, the larynx is still being activated. And that's why whenever they talk about, when they teach speed reading, your goal is to move away from using your internal voice to read, because you are limited by how quickly your larynx can sub-vocalize what you're communicating, or what you're taking in, which I think is just fascinating. Okay, now we're going to take these nice flat pieces and attach them around the outside. Although, okay, that's why. we will take the top piece and place that on the bottom piece. Wow, look at that. That is so cool. That looks like a stinking pot. That is too cool. Anybody have any fun Easter plans as we get closer to the weekend? Thanks for writing in. Dustin asked a question on Hands on Tech about a family computer, I think, is what your question was about. Sort of a, going to and helping to host a big Easter brunch. That sounds so fun. Tell me more about your brunch. What does one have at a brunch? Is it Easter themed? Are there special foods? Deviled eggs? Love a deviled egg. I'm having trouble with the placement on this because it seems okay. So if we've got one over here, we're actually going to be doing an Easter egg hunt with some friends. Patrick says, doing an Easter egg hunt for the kiddo, going to make him find pieces of a map and some candy hidden in eggs. When he puts the map together, it will lead to his Easter basket full of goodies like a Lego set and the Paw Patrol PS4 game. That's so exciting. Wife's birthday and rowing a 10K? Oh my word. Back to the Twitch Easter brunch: scrambled eggs, roasted breakfast potatoes, yum, sausages, pastries, fruit salad, chai, juice. That sounds fantastic. Okay, so I'm aligning it. I wish they would just show a top-down view. That would save me so much turmoil. Seems like that one is supposed to go there. And then we have an adorable little ladybug. Because it's a lace leaf, you have to protect it. And that's a good question. What is Eastery? Pistachio? So I think we'll put the ladybug there. And then this seems to go here. And then that leaves room for the third one here. Okay, that feels right. Is it? I don't know. That's a good point, bookend. Well, not really. All right, now we're going to start making the stems, which I'm very excited about. 2 pieces of pipe. 1 little green rod thing, and then 1 of the green binoculars. So we will take the little pipe, we'll place another little pipe We'll take the little stem, place a little piece of pipe on top of it. And then okay, that's poorly done. Oh, no, I see. Tiny little bloomers. Technically, I'm working on tiny little bloomers. Ha! Get it? Because they're flowers. And they're small. Ta-da! What a beautiful stem. Now we'll do the same. This time with just one stem, one pipe, and the green binoculars. Just like that. And we'll pop it in here, like so. You may also know laceleaf, or anthurium, by one of its many other names. For example, flamingo flower, or painter's palette. We love the abundance of alliteration here. That was not me editorializing, that is what it said. They really are nice clicks, right? I love that. Love a good click. Oops. Wow. Well, come on. Now that is cool. Now we'll place the leaves. And a little stem on top. I think it's like a bud. That's the idea. Oh. Need to turn this around like so. They really are. I recommend everybody, if you can, get one of these LEGO Botanicals. There are some that are rather pricey, but some of them aren't. And there are always good deals around the holidays. Black Friday deals for these LEGO sets are quite reasonable. They make a great gift too, because then someone gets a little house plant that they don't have to take care of, and it becomes a little conversation piece. we're slowly building up a collection for every season. We've got our winter poinsettia. Uh-oh, did the live stream freeze? No, I didn't. Okay, it's just not showing a preview anymore for some reason. We've got our winter poinsettia. We've got a fall collection of flowers. So we just need spring and summer. Oh my, this is complicated. The final countdown. Cool. Yeah, it's just the restream preview that is showing it as frozen. I'm glad that it's not frozen for anyone, though. Why does it sound like there's someone in my home? Get out of my home. Speaking of crafts and sewing, hold on, let me read this first. To capture the iconic ridged flower of the lace leaf, we used LEGO clamshell elements in a new color. So this is a unique color that was not in existence before. I went to a local vintage store, which is just a name that they give thrift stores to be able to charge more money. And I found this amazing windbreaker from the 90s. I love the 90s colors, like specifically of windbreakers. They're these beautiful blues and purples and pinks typically. And it's that swishy windbreaker. And it fit me sort of torso-wise and is sort of cropped for me. But I have very long arms and I'm a tall person. And so the sleeves are not as tall as Patrick Delahanty, but not too far off. The sleeves were too short. And so I found a person, well, a little business, a little local business that does alterations. And I went to Goodwill, found an old pair of pants that had the same swishy material and came in the same blue, and took that and the windbreaker to the alterations person. And it was really cool because he looked at the windbreaker and saw that around the base of the windbreaker, it has this kind of elasticized band so that, you know, it's not going, wind won't go up inside. And the elasticized band is one color, but it has a little stripe of color in the middle of it. And he said, what we'll do is we will use that motif of this kind of two-color cuff to create new cuffs. And we'll like seam rip, take out the existing cuff, which will give us some length, and then I will completely create new cuffs for you on the bottom. And so I left it there for him a couple of days ago, and they're really busy right now with wedding stuff because they do those kinds of alterations as well. So in about 3 weeks, I'll have my new windbreaker, which is going to be around about the time for Mikah's Crafting Corner to come back around. So I will show folks. Yeah, eventually that's something I want to be able to do myself, but I didn't want to take something that I really liked and practice on that. So I said, no, I'm just going to give it, you know, I'm going to treat it with respect, essentially. Yeah, it was really, really fun. It was so cool. Chocolate Milk Minisip says that they remember Their mom had anthurium as a kid and remembered the plasticky feeling of them. My fingers are crossed that the alterations look good. I really liked how collaborative he was, and I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was just going to be like, oh yeah, we can do that. We can, put more cuff on it. Because I said, do we want to extend the shoulder a little bit? Do we want to just make the cuff longer? I'm down for whatever. And for him to be like, oh, well, there's this motif here. Let's use that. That's when I thought, oh, I'm at the right place. So now I'm excited because there are some other clothes that I have that I haven't worn in a long time because they just don't fit how I'd want them to. And so if this goes well, he's got some new business. So we're going to repeat the process for the second set of flower. Yeah, so everybody keep your fingers crossed that it all turns out. And then my fiance found this really cool denim jacket, and it had some stains because it's denim. Sort of the vest portion of it was denim. The sleeves were like polyester in a light brown. So if you can imagine blue denim, light brown, sort of quilted looking sleeves, really cool. But it had stains on the sleeves, and there was a patch on the sleeve as well, like an embroidered patch that was supposed to be there. And so the stain kind of went between the patch and the sleeve, and he decided to get it. And I said, I think we can try and, fix this. And over the course of good night, Adam, thanks for hanging out. And over the course of, 12 to 18 hours of soaking and doing some different things, we were able to get the stains out of it. And it looks very good. So it was a very exciting haul. We're nearly done here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll pop that on there. And now, all that's left we have completed our anthurium, and they look so cool. And that's the end of this book. So we have made that's right, false shamrock. I keep wanting to say false clover. We have made a false clover, a jade plant, and the anthurium with a delightful little ladybug that's keeping the flowers and leaves safe from aphids. No. Aren't aphids baby ladybugs? Or no, they're not. Aphids are the things that ladybugs eat. I think so. Anyway, keeping it safe. Thank you, Magic Packet. So that's that. Dear what did we say? Craftinians? What was it? Craftonites. No, that wasn't it. Craftonian. That's it, Craftonian. Dear Craftonians, thank you all for being here this evening, hanging out, talking about philosophy, ghosts, plans for Easter, stories from our childhood. I just found out there's another ladybug, and I just appreciate you all. I appreciate the support that you give us here on the network and the delightful conversations we get to have every month, and seeing you pop up for the shows. It means a lot. So thank you all. Have a lovely, lovely evening, a lovely, lovely weekend, a lovely, lovely month, whatever it happens to be for you. And we'll see you again soon. Good night.